Richard Dreyfuss is Barbra Streisand's lawyer in the new courtroom movie called Nuts, and they both are excellent in their roles. And now, for the first time, they appear together in an interview, and what you are about to see, I found both revealing and a rare pleasure.
It's an understandable arena. You know, everything is reduced to good and bad and evil, and everything is encapsulated in such a way that you can get a grasp of it. I would imagine that has a lot to do with it. Also because the sets are cheap, so that...
Earlier in the week, Barbra Streisand was saying how much she admired her character in Nuts. She liked this person. What's your opinion of this character?
I don't like her as much as Barbara liked her.
Well, you liked me at the end of the movie.
I liked her.
Let him in.
I liked the woman. I liked the woman. I wouldn't have her over for dinner like every week, you know. I liked her. I admire her tenacity. But, and I certainly think that she's more than capable and more than, she has every right to the defense that she gets and that she gives herself. As a matter of fact, the interesting tension in this movie is not that you like her, but that because you don't like her, or because you have ambivalent feelings about her, you still think this woman deserves this, this, and this. That's part of it.
And you hope she gets it.
By the end of the film.
You hope.
At the beginning of the film, most people probably, you know, want to just tell her to keep her mouth shut and behave.
We have talked, and many people have talked about Barbra Streisand, the woman who exists, and Barbra Streisand, whom we all think exists. So who is the Barbra Streisand you know, and how does it differ from these magazines she's been telling us about?
I'm putting a new addition on my house.
And how much you want for it?
A lot of
I'll put the sprinkler system in. Okay.
I have to floss. I'm late for my flossing.
That's a very difficult question. Maybe I shouldn't be here when
No, it'd be wonderful. I'd like to hear it. He's a man of courage. You are always preaching the truth. Here is a chance for Dreyfuss to prove that you can get through life telling the truth.
I don't want to have to prove this. This is Barbara should prove this. This truth has never been a big issue to me.
Well, lie about her a little.
What is the question?
Yeah, lie, that's right.
What is the question?
Who is the Barbra Streisand you know, and is she different from the Barbra Streisand the public thinks it knows?
There's a difference between what the public thinks and what writers want the public to think. The public wouldn't have such an image because they go and they pay and they like and they clap and they applaud and
that's right.
all of that.
They buy this stuff.
Barbara is a case. She's very specific. I think if there is one thing that you can say is a common denominator to all movie stars, especially female movie stars from the time of the beginning of the motion picture business, is that they are, as opposed to the other actresses, they are definite. You can see a clear line around Katharine Hepburn's personality, and Bette Davis's personality, and Joan Crawford's personality, and Jean Arthur, and Barbra Streisand. That is what sets them apart and what makes them compelling for us to watch them. When you observe anything under close scrutiny, you can start to argue and say, well, I don't like that, and I don't like the way Hepburn is feisty or confrontive or sensitive or whatever. And so people might argue with facets of Barbara's personality, or the personality that she gives off. But what Barbara is definite. And because she's a woman, we take issue with that in a greater degree than if she were a man. If she were a producer, star, / director of the male gender, we would accept all of her eccentricities in a much more forgiving, normal, unquestioning way. The fact that she is a woman brings all of those things out in very sharp relief. And that's why we're here, in a sense, discussing Barbara's personality. We wouldn't be discussing Marty Ritt's personality, or mine or yours. We would be discussing... That doesn't mean that I forgive her eccentricities, by the way.
Okay.
It just means that's the phenomena that we're discussing.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's outstanding. Do you ever have to resort to a disguise when you go out?
When I was doing one part, I put on a blonde wig, and it was for a movie called All Night Long. And I went to a country and western bar to study the people in the valley in California, and put on a blonde wig and ridiculous clothes and many jewels and all this, you know. And as soon as I walked in the door, I was, oh, hi, Barbara. I thought, I don't believe it. Now they think I have this, you know, lousy taste, too. It doesn't work.
Because before she walked in the bar, she checked the lighting for 2 hours.
No, I couldn't do anything about that. Funny, funny.
Now, you don't take umbrage at Richard when he kids you about that? I mean, she's a perfectionist, Richard. She wants to be...
Barbara's the hardest working person I've ever met in my life.
Oh, thank you. And I see, the thing is, I care as much about how he looks as how I look, or any other actor.
So how come he's in the dark the first two-thirds of... No.
Making a joke, folks. It's a joke, folks. Don't believe
Good
that.
question. It was here, I'm Barbara, this is Richard. So, Your Honor. Your Honor.
I just want to make clear to the public that at no time during Nuts do you hold your hand in front of Richard Dreyfuss's face. Show how that would be had you done that. This is Barbra Streisand.
Why is that so familiar, though?
And Richard Dreyfuss. And I want to just tell everybody, Nuts not being a comedy is a brilliant motion picture, and you are both outstanding in it. Should be a lot of envelopes being opened.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.